Today we are going to be looking at solving multi-step equations. So the first type of problem we're going to look at is just a two-step equation. So the number one, we have 10 equals 6 minus 2x. We need to isolate the variable. So we need to get the variable x all by itself. To do that, we have to get rid of this 6. The 6 is positive, so we have to subtract 6 from both sides. So we do 10 minus 6, which gives us 4. We bring down everything else as is. So don't forget that negative we have to bring down. Now we have negative 2. We need x by itself. So we're going to divide both sides by negative 2. So it cancels out and leaves us x equaling 4 divided by negative 2 gives us a negative 2. Let's look at the next problem. We have negative 4 plus 7x equals 3. We have to isolate x, so we have to get rid of that loose number first. That loose number is negative 4. So think of it as minus 4. The opposite of minus 4 is add 4. What you do to one side, you have to do to the other. We have to keep it balanced. Cancels out. Bring down your 7x. Now add 3 plus 4 gives us 7. Now x is attached to a 7, so that's 7 times x. We have to undo that and divide 7 from both sides. And it leaves us x equaling 7 divided by 7 gives us 1. The next one I want you to do, actually the next two I want you to do by yourselves. So pause the video, do those two problems, then come back and check your work. Okay, let's check 3 and 4. So we have 1.5 equals 1.2y minus 5.7. So we have to get rid of the loose number. So we have to add 5.7 to both sides. So it cancels out. 1.5 plus 5.7 gives us 7.2. And bring down your 1.2y. Now we have to divide both sides by 1.2. Cancels out. Leaves us y to equal, now divide. 7.2 divided by 1.6. 7.2 divided by 1.2 gives us 6. So y equals 6. Let's check number 4. We have n over 7 plus 2 equals 2. So we have to get rid of the loose number, so we're going to subtract 2 from both sides. Cancels out. We get n over 7 equaling 2 minus 2 is 0. N over 7, same thing as n divided by 7, so we're going to multiply 7 to both sides. It cancels the 7's out, gives us n to equal 0 times 7 is 0. Okay, now we're going to look at two-step equations that contains fractions. Do not get scared of the fractions. Fractions are our friends. So we have q divided by q divided by 15 minus 1.1 over 5 equals 3 over 5. So we have to get rid of the loose number, which is minus 1/5. We do the opposite, so we're going to add 1/5 to both sides. It cancels out, leaves us with q over 15 equaling 3/5 plus 1/5. Add the numerator. 3 plus 1 is 4/5. Now we're going to get rid of this divide 15. So we're going to multiply both sides by 15. It cancels out. Leaves us q to equal 4/5 times 15. You can use your calculator, Or we can do this by hand. So if we change 15 and put it over 1, we multiply straight across. 4 times 15 gives us 60, and 5 times 1 is 5. Now 5 goes into 60 12 times. So Q equals 12. Okay, the next one. We're going to add 1/2 to both sides. We bring down 2x over 5 equaling 5 plus 1/2. We can think of that as 5.5. Now we need to get rid of the denominator. So we're going to multiply 5 to both sides. Cancels out, leaves us 2x equaling 5.5 times 5 is 27.5. Now we're going to divide both sides by 2. X is going to equal 13.75. Okay, I want you to try 3 and 4 by yourselves. Pause the video, come back to check your work once you're done. Okay, let's look at 3. We need to get rid of the loose number, so we're going to subtract 1/2 from both sides. Leaves us 3/4 u equaling 4.5. So we can divide 3/4 from both sides, but you can't divide by a fraction, so you have to multiply by the reciprocal. Or you can turn this into 2 steps. I like the 2 steps, it's a little easier to figure out and not get lost. So first we're going to get rid of this divide 4. So we're going to multiply by 4 to both sides. Cancels out, leaves you 3u equaling 4.5 times 4 gives us 18. Divide both sides by 3, and you get u to equal 6. Number 4. We need to get rid of the loose number, so we're going to add 1/3 to both sides. Cancels out, gives us 1/5 n equaling 8/3 plus 1/3 is 9/3. Now 9/3 can be simplified. So 3 goes into 9 3 times. So we have 1/5 n equals 3. So we'll multiply by 5 to both sides. It cancels out, leaves us 1n, which same thing as n, equaling 3 times 5 is 15. Okay, now let's look at the back. So we are going to have to simplify these equations before we solve. So number 1, we have 6x plus 3 minus 8x equals 13. We have like terms here. We need to combine our like terms. So we have 6x and negative 8x. Since they're on the same side, you do the same operation as shown. 6 minus 8. 6 minus 8 gives us negative 2x. Now bring down everything else as it is. Now we can solve this. We have a loose number of plus 3. We have to subtract 3 from both sides. It cancels out. Bring down our negative 2x equaling 13 minus 3 is 10. Divide both sides by negative 2. Cancels out. Gives us x to equal 10 divided by negative 2 is negative 5. Okay, let's look at number 2. We have 9 equals 6 minus x plus 2. We have a problem here. Our problem is we have parentheses we have to get rid of. To get rid of those parentheses, we have to distribute this negative sign to everything on the inside. So when we do that, we're going to get negative x minus 2. We're writing down everything as it is. So we have the 6 and then equals our 9. Now we have to combine our like terms. So our like terms here is 6 minus 2. And 6 minus 2, they're on the same side, so we just do it as is. 6 minus 2 gives us 4. Bring down everything else as is. So our minus x equaling 9. Now we can solve it. 4 is positive, so we have to subtract 4 from both sides. Cancels out. Get negative x equaling 9 minus 4 is 5. Now we have this negative. That's the same thing as saying negative 1, so we have to divide negative 1 from both sides. Cancels out and gives us x to equal negative 5. Okay, I want you to try the next two by yourselves. Come back to check your work once you are finished. Okay, let's check number 3. We have negative 2 times 3 minus 9 equals 4. We have to get rid of the parentheses, so we are going to distribute negative 2 to both things inside that parentheses. So negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. Negative 2 times a negative d, negative times a negative is a positive 2d. Now we have to get rid of our loose number. We're going to add 6 to both sides. Cancels out. Bring down your 2d equaling 4 plus 6 is 10. Get rid of this times 2, so we're going to divide 2 from both sides. Leaves us d to equal 5. Okay, let's look at number 4. We have 4 times x minus 2 plus 2x equals 40. We first need to get rid of the parentheses, so we're going to distribute the 4 to everything on the inside of the parentheses. So we have 4x minus 8. Bring down everything else as is. Now we have to combine our like terms. So we have 4x plus 2x. And 4x plus 2x gives us 6x. Bring down everything else as is. Now we have to get rid of this loose number. So we're going to add 8 to both sides. Cancels out. Bring down our 6x equals 40 plus 8 is 48. Divide both sides by 6. So x is going to equal 48 divided by 6 is 8. So that is your lesson today on solving multi-step equations. Please reach out if you have any questions.